SimRail, the railway simulator, is a detailed and immersive railway simulation experience. Featuring realistic driving physics, environments created using geodetic data, and an expansive multiplayer mode, the game offers players the chance to explore around 500 kilometers of meticulously recreated European routes. Players can choose between modern high-speed, long-distance, and suburban tracks, or relive history by driving steam trains on 1980s era industrial lines in Upper Silesia, Poland. A wide variety of steam, diesel, and electric trains operate with realistic physics, offering challenges to reach stations safely and on time. SimRail also includes the opportunity to act as a train dispatcher, managing station operations, and preparing train paths using equipment from various eras, all while responding to potential malfunctions. Multiplayer mode allows players worldwide to collaborate in real time as drivers or dispatchers, with dynamic weather, animated passengers, and a living environment enhanced by Unity engine graphics. Let's dive into what players have to say about this game. As observed by multiple reviewers, SimRail has emerged as a notable entry in the realm of railway simulators, especially filling the void of multiplayer-enabled train simulation. Offering over 500 kilometers polished tracks, detailed vehicles, and a sophisticated signaling system, the game delivers an authentic and immersive experience for players. Its multiplayer mode stands out, allowing users to choose roles as either train drivers or dispatchers, fostering interaction and collaboration. However, the game, still in early access, has areas needing improvement, particularly in performance at busy stations, limited tutorials, and a steep learning curve for newcomers. Critics appreciate the developers' engagement with the community and their ambitious plans for future expansions, including German and US routes. Despite its imperfections, SimRail is praised for its depth, value, and multiplayer functionality, distinguishing itself from competitors. It's seen as a promising alternative to established titles like E-Train SimWorld. In this exciting game, KLETKA, players must navigate the harrowing depths of the Geiger structure, an endlessly expanding labyrinth filled with deadly traps and mysterious anomalies. Sentenced as the most dangerous criminals, their survival depends on managing a living, carnivorous elevator named KLETKA, which must be fed both fuel and flesh to avoid consuming its passengers. The ominous Sammersbor anomaly, capable of annihilating anything in its path, forces players to make split-second decisions when its sirens blare, signaling a desperate race back to the safety of the elevator. Up to 6 players can team up, but alliances are tested when survival demands tough choices. Friends might be essential for progress, but in the end they could also become vital sustenance. And now we come to the reviews. Common feedback points to this early access game highlight its potential as a standout survival horror experience with strong atmospheric design and engaging mechanics. Players compare it to Lethal Company, but with a darker, survival-focused twist, where scavenging for resources like meat and fuel feeds into its eerie and tension-filled gameplay. The community appreciates the setting's unique mix of stalker-esque vibes and fever dream surrealism. Praise centers on the game's replayability, cooperative play, and evolving challenges, though some note that early access bugs, balance issues like the unforgiving Sammersbor mechanic, and a lack of informational tools can detract from the experience. Despite this, enthusiasm for its future development is high, with many recommending. Witch and Council. The card is a strategic deck-building game where players guide the mischievous witch Lulu on her quest to reclaim her stolen heirloom from the tyrannical Student Council President, Sibylla. Players experiment with various party and card combinations, collecting rare cards, relics, and scrolls to grow stronger. The game features turn-based battles against monsters and Student Council officers, with opportunities to recruit allies along the way. With 2 modes, over 140 cards, 5 characters, and numerous replayable elements, players can craft unique strategies and compete globally via leaderboards. Let's now delve into the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that this party-building deck builder offers a charming and accessible experience, appealing to fans of games like Slay the Spire and Chrono Trigger. Each character brings unique cards and passive abilities, with relics that enhance gameplay diversity. The cute art style and light-hearted humor are standout features, though the story is relatively simple. Players appreciate the strategy of merging individual decks and forming different parties, but some feel that balancing perks and rewards could improve. Translation issues have caused controversy, particularly among Chinese players, though the English version is largely well received. The small indie team behind the game is commended for their responsiveness and ongoing updates, including quality of life improvements like animation speed and card shortcuts. Minor issues such as animation pacing and text overlap do exist but don't detract significantly from the experience. While not as polished as some genre leaders, the game's unique mechanics, engaging visuals, and affordability make it worth exploring, especially during sales. Cowboy 3030 is a thrilling roguelike third-person shooter set in a futuristic Wild West. Players take on the role of a bounty hunter tasked with taking down the Nebuleros, a gang of alien miscreants and robots terrorizing Hololasso County. The game combines epic 3D bullet hell action with intense showdowns against enemy gang leaders, like the fearsome Blade Mistress. Each enemy brings unique attack patterns, demanding quick reflexes and strategic play. Players can choose from a diverse roster of heroes, each with distinct weapons and abilities, from close-range revolvers and electro-lassos to long-range marksman rifles and devastating bowling bombs. The dynamic progression grid ensures every playthrough feels fresh, offering randomized perks and upgrades for endless replayability. Whether playing solo or in co-op with up to 4 players, Cowboy 3030 delivers an action-packed journey filled with high-stakes combat and ever-evolving challenges. Let's now delve into the reviews. As observed by multiple reviewers, Cowboy 3030 is an early access third-person shooter, blending action roguelike mechanics with a futuristic Wild West theme. Players take on the role of bounty hunters battling hordes of robots, each with distinct abilities and attacks requiring tactical dodges and positioning. The game offers 3 playable characters: Skylex with pistols, Keely with snipers, and Terry with shotguns, each contributing unique playstyles. Its dynamic skill tree system, which resets with every playthrough, ensures no meta builds, emphasizing strategic adaptability. The gameplay draws comparisons to titles like Risk of Rain 2 and RoboQuest, praised for its challenging design and fast-paced, cooperative-friendly mechanics. While single player is viable, the experience shines in co-op mode, with some players likening its difficulty to a bullet hell Dark Souls. Reviewers appreciate the balance between accessibility and innovation, noting its satisfying progression and engaging combat, but also suggesting more content, including additional characters and optimization improvements. With a promising foundation, EJ Cowboy. In this exciting game, Glitched Out, Chapter 1, players must guide engineer Lex as she awakens in a chaotic government research facility, overrun by escaped alien entities and a rampant malware outbreak. Teaming up with an advanced AI companion named Chip, Lex must hack her way to freedom using the portable glitch fixer, a device that solves corrupted power units through intricate minigames. As she navigates the treacherous halls of the Federal Bureau of Containment, Lex encounters both allies and terrifying foes, uncovering secrets about the sinister events that led to the outbreak. With its episodic structure, immersive environmental storytelling, and intense survival horror gameplay, Glitched Out challenges players to outsmart their monstrous adversaries and piece together the mysteries hidden in the shadows. Let's dive into what players have to say about this game. Reviewers are of the opinion that this game is a solid first attempt from its creators, offering unique visuals, engaging sound design, and innovative mechanics like the hacking minigames. While some found the gameplay refreshing and the puzzles balanced, others criticized certain aspects, such as slow pacing, lackluster animations, and inconsistent voice acting. The monster designs, particularly the Seeker, were praised for their creativity and gameplay integration. However, opinions on the overall experience were divided, with some players feeling it leaned toward tedious or unpolished. Despite its flaws, the game's story and lore show potential, leaving many excited for future chapters and confident in the developer's growth. Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen is a deeply social high-fantasy MMO that immerses players in the vast and dangerous world of Terminus. Set 500 years after the Deicide War, the game challenges players to uncover the lost power of their gods and survive in a world divided by conflict. With a focus on exploration, climbing, and a perception system that alters outcomes based on player choices, Pantheon offers a seamless open world with diverse climates, supernatural fractures, and dynamic day-night cycles. Players can choose from 9 races and 14 classes, shaping their characters' abilities and legacy. Combat emphasizes strategy, teamwork, and adaptability, while the mastery system allows for deep character progression. Pantheon rewards effort and collaboration, making every adventure a shared experience of discovery and danger. Let's now delve into the reviews. As observed by multiple reviewers, Pantheon, Rise of the Fallen has struggled to meet expectations, particularly for those familiar with classic MMORPGs like EverQuest. The game's graphics have been widely criticized for their outdated quality, leaving many feeling like they are revisiting a game from the early 2000s rather than something modern. Combat mechanics are slow and clunky, reminiscent of turn-based systems, which detracts from the intended immersive experience. Issues with unbalanced gameplay and poor enemy scaling have led some players to abandon their efforts early, deeming the experience frustrating rather than rewarding. While there are glimpses of potential and some players have praised the mystery and exploration aspects, the overall sentiment is one of disappointment, particularly given the game's prolonged development period. Early access promises continued updates, but whether these will address the core issues remains to be seen. The Cabin Factory is a short horror, anomaly hunting experience. Welcome to the Cabin Factory as a newly hired cabin inspector. Your role is to investigate the cabins and determine whether they are haunted. Examine each cabin thoroughly. If you detect any signs of the supernatural or unsettling occurrences, press danger and turn back. If the cabin appears safe, press clear. Inspired by liminal spaces and psychological horror walking simulators like the Exit 8 Pools and the unsettling predecessor, PT, the Cabin Factory offers a tense, immersive journey designed to evoke fear and uncertainty. The experience is compact, taking approximately 60 minutes to navigate, making it ideal for short bursts of atmospheric horror. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that this game is well worth the price, delivering a creepy and tense atmosphere that keeps players on edge. The use of slow-building tension and effective jump scares is highly praised, creating a memorable horror experience. Co-op play adds to the fun, making it ideal for groups of friends. Despite some optimization issues and occasional glitches, the gameplay remains engaging. For fans of psychological horror, this game offers a unique twist on the anomaly genre. Overall, it's a thrilling, scary experience that stands out among other horror games. King of Fighters FTV is a dynamic fighting game that pushes the boundaries of the beloved series, first launched in 1994. Featuring 39 characters at release, the game brings together iconic heroes, villains, and newcomers in the most ambitious dream match yet. Continuing the series' signature 3-on-3 team battles, it introduces the Shatter Strike mechanic for enhanced gameplay depth. The story mode propels KOF's saga to a dramatic conclusion, offering fans a narrative climax. With rollback netcode for seamless online play, and robust content like a gallery and DJ station with 300 tracks, KOF FTV delivers an expansive, exhilarating experience for both veterans and new players. Let's now delve into the reviews. Common feedback points to the King of Fighters FTV highlight, a blend of praise and constructive criticism. The game is celebrated for its robust launch content, faithful evolution of gameplay mechanics, and a striking aesthetic improvement over its predecessor, KOF TNT. The character models, soundtrack, and classic track selection are well received, though visual effects and some animations have mixed reviews. Gameplay-wise, it caters to both veterans and newcomers, with simplified entry points while retaining the series' core depth. Online matchmaking and netcode are divisive. Some laud its improvements, but European players report difficulty finding matches and poor prioritization in rollback netcode. Technical concerns including input inconsistency and file optimization dampen the experience for some. Training features and lobbies are strong points, but a lack of advanced tutorials and slow UI responsiveness are noted. Despite these issues, many fans consider KOF FTV a standout entry in the series, blending nostalgia with modern mechanics. The Spirit of the Samurai is a stop-motion cinematic action-adventure set in a world steeped in Japanese mythology. Players assume the role of Takeshi, a samurai tasked with defending his village from the relentless onslaught of an Oni and his undead army. Inspired by classic Japanese folklore, players encounter terrifying yokai, undead monsters, and other mythical creatures in beautifully crafted, detailed environments. The game offers a unique blend of 2D platforming, exploration, and intense combat, featuring 3 distinct characters, Takeshi, Kodama, and Chisai, each bringing different playstyles. With a focus on combat using legendary weapons like the katana, spear, and bow, players unlock powerful abilities, customize combos, and face dynamically challenging enemies in a hauntingly atmospheric world. Let's now delve into the reviews. As observed by multiple reviewers, Takeshi's Journey offers a visually stunning and atmospheric side-scrolling experience set in a demon-infested, feudal Japan. The game's art style is captivating, with beautifully rendered cutscenes that enhance the storytelling and cinematic quality. The stop-motion character animation adds an unsettling, eerie vibe, especially with the terrifying enemy designs. However, combat mechanics feel clunky and unresponsive, with limited depth in terms of parries, dodges, and combos. Enemies are inconsistent in their behavior, often too easy to exploit or too difficult to read. Platforming is frustrating due to unclear visual cues and blind jumps, leading to unnecessary deaths. Despite its flaws, Takeshi's Journey has potential, especially for those who can tolerate the rough combat and platforming. In this exciting game, Creeper World IXE, players must command a fleet of ships to combat the relentless alien menace known as the Creeper, a fluid enemy that spreads across terraformed worlds. This real-time strategy game blends groundbreaking pixel-level simulation with dynamic gameplay, as players terraform environments, harness gravity, and deploy advanced weaponry to push back the enemy. The ultimate goal is to locate and destroy IXE cores across planets to halt the Creeper's endless advance. Offering campaign missions, custom map creation, and robust scripting tools, Creeper World IXE challenges players to innovate, strategize, and now, we come to the reviews. Common feedback points to the latest installment in the Creeper World series highlight a mix of admiration for its innovative elements and disappointment in its departure from classic mechanics. The game builds on Creeper World's signature tower defense versus fluid gameplay, introducing 2D fluid dynamics and powders reminiscent of Noida and classic sandbox games, which many find visually stunning. The revamped editor and scripting tools stand out as the most lauded feature, promising limitless creative potential. However, criticisms point to a lack of strategic depth compared to earlier titles. The campaign's pacing and reduced challenge where players often outpace the titular Creeper rather than being overwhelmed diminish the tension and excitement that defined the series. Changes to progression, such as simplified resource management and map structure, have left some players yearning for the layered complexity of previous games. Fans of Particle Fleet may enjoy this direction, but traditionalists might feel this entry veers too far from its roots. In this exciting game, Clone Drone in the Hyperdome, players must step into the role of Blink, a teleporting robot gladiator competing in the deadly Crash Loop tournament. Armed with a laser sword and a thirst for survival, players battle waves of enemy defendroids, dodge turret fire, and leap across treacherous lava pools in a relentless roguelike loop. Between runs, rivalries, and alliances with fellow loop runners unravel the secrets of the Crash Loop. Victories yield powerful turbo fists, granting abilities like flame blasts, shuriken launches, and zombie summoning. With an array of weapons from axes to bare fists, and the promise of facing the captain in the Hyperdome, each moment is a fight for dominance and survival in this VR combat experience. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that Clone Drone in the Hyperdome is a standout VR title, blending innovative combat with a polished, physics-driven system that delivers forceful, impactful strikes. Its gameplay is described as deeply satisfying, with moments of improvisation like defeating an enemy after losing a limb enhancing the experience. The story is praised for its connection to the original game while remaining fresh and engaging with memorable, well-acted characters. The voxel-based visuals have improved dramatically, and the environments are lauded as a significant step forward. While controls feel intuitive for many, the lack of left-handed support disappoints some. Despite this, the game is frequently labeled a VR masterpiece, with smooth swordplay, a balanced challenge, and no apparent bugs. It's described as fun, immersive, and worth the price, cementing itself as one of the best VR games currently available. Heat Death is a sci-fi survival game where players build, upgrade, and customize a battle train to explore a frozen, hostile world. The train serves as both a vehicle and a weapon, essential for survival against deadly storms, hostile drones, and mysterious environments. Players construct and enhance their train with weapons, shields, and other modules, while exploring diverse landscapes like frozen lakes, mountain ranges, and abandoned city. The game emphasizes resource management, requiring players to maintain power and food while defending against enemies. Heat Death offers a challenging, dynamic world where survival depends on both strategy and exploration. And now we come to the reviews. As observed by multiple reviewers, the game shows numerous signs of imbalance and poor design choices. Players often encounter frustrating scenarios where they are unable to make meaningful progress due to stamina depletion and a lack of resources, resulting in repeated deaths. The spawn system punishes players heavily, forcing them to backtrack long distances after dying, often only to find themselves overwhelmed by enemy drones. The game's optimization issues further exacerbate the experience, leading to poor performance even on high-end systems. While the graphics might be deemed decent, they suffer from inconsistent quality, with large sections of terrain appearing poorly textured or mismatched. The building mechanics, often cited as a source of frustration, suffer from a lack of refinement and user-friendly interfaces. Despite these issues, the train mechanics provide some enjoyable moments, with timed station arrivals and resource management adding a degree of tension. However, the game's overall depth and content fall short, leaving much to be desired, especially for those expecting a fully fleshed-out survival experience. While the low price makes it somewhat appealing, the gameplay loop quickly becomes repetitive, overshadowed by technical shortcomings. Deathless. Tales of Old Rus is a blend of collectible card game mechanics, roguelike elements, and turn-based strategy set in the enchanting world of Bloodshed. Players build unique decks, uncover relics, and face legendary bosses while exploring the stories of 4 distinct heroes. Varvara manipulates battlefield positions, Vasilisa wields elemental magic, Dobrynya excels in defense, and Alyosha fights with Starsteel and Spellbane. Each run offers endless card combinations and strategic choices, with paths ranging from dangerous challenges to easier foes, rewarding creative experimentation. Completing each hero's quest reveals rich lore and magical creatures in a beautifully woven narrative. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that Deathless blends roguelite deck building with strategic elements like corpse mechanics, reminiscent of Darkest Dungeon. Praised for its stunning visuals and atmospheric music, it offers intriguing gameplay rooted in Slavic folklore. However, its current early access state reveals some balance issues, with slow combat and limited deck variety detracting from the overall experience. While some find the gameplay captivating and strategic, others note a lack of depth in deck building and prolonged battles that can feel tedious. With updates to pacing, card diversity and mechanics, it has the potential to become a standout in the genre. In this exciting game, Bloodshed, players must survive endless waves of undead enemies while battling the cult's dark forces to prevent their apocalyptic plan. The game blends roguelite progression with first-person shooter action, offering intense combat, diverse character options, and an arsenal of customizable weapons. Death doesn't mean defeat. Players retain their hard-earned cash for permanent upgrades and unlockable content, ensuring each playthrough adds new depth to the experience. With unique enemy hordes requiring distinct strategies and evolving challenges, Bloodshed keeps players on their toes, seeking to perfect their builds and overcome the relentless threat of darkness. And now we come to the reviews. Reviewers are of the opinion that this game combines elements from Doom and Vampire Survivors into a fast-paced, enjoyable experience. Priced reasonably, it's highly recommended for fans of the genre, especially on the Steam Deck. Early access has a promising foundation, with room for more content, but already offers a solid 5 hours of gameplay. While the pixel art style could benefit from improved resolution settings, the core gameplay loop is fun and addictive. Overall, it's a great mix of nostalgia and modern shooter mechanics. In this exciting game, Murky Divers, players must dive to the ocean's depths with a team of up to 8 to uncover and erase the dark remnants of Pharmacor's abandoned labs. As you navigate procedurally generated wrecks, your mission is to remove evidence of failed experiments by extracting corpses and shredding them aboard your submarine. Choose a sub that matches your playstyle, from solo expeditions to chaotic 8-player co-op outdie. Coordinate using proximity voice chat and sonar to avoid lurking threats and conserve oxygen. Survive encounters with dangerous creatures and use your hard-earned credits to upgrade your equipment and sub. Prepare carefully to face the unknown in Let's dive into what players have to say about this game. Common feedback points to Lethal Company, highlight a blend of enthusiasm and frustration. Players praise its potential for fun and chaotic multiplayer experiences but cite areas needing improvement, including the absence of a save system, which many find essential for sustained enjoyment. The balance of monster mechanics, item limitations and spawn rates are seen as issues, with some suggesting a bigger crew size to enhance cooperative gameplay. Others mention moments of humor and absurdity as standout features but note the monotony in certain roles, such as prolonged travel or sonar evasion. Toxic player behavior and a lack of language-specific lobby support, particularly for German speakers, spark calls for reporting tools and better inclusivity measure. Despite its flaws, the game's early access state shows promise, with many recommending it for short, entertaining sessions, provided updates address key frustrations.